Africa may soon get an official third gender separate from male or female. The public has 2 weeks left to make their submissions to the official identity management policy. Gender activists, on the other hand, are urging people to register their opinions. But for more on this, I'll speak to Sibusiso Kheswa from human rights group Iranti. Of course, he joins us from Johannesburg. Sibusiso, thank you so much for your time and welcome to the show. I mean, I understand that you have been, presenting your case as an organization, as gender activists, to ensure that there are more options on official ID, official documents. Take us through some of the cases that you've presented.
Morning to Mel and morning to viewers. Firstly, we need to correct the misconception of a third gender. There is no third gender. Instead, we are advocating for the third sex category. So when you apply at Home Affairs, you must tick male, female, and then the third option.
Right.
And the third option is X, and that X stands for unspecified. So for people, for whatever reason, who choose not to specify their gender, then they will have that option. And this will accommodate the non-binary, transgender, and intersex people in the country.
And I'm assuming, so you feel that it's a long time coming so that the LGBTIQ plus community, of course, feels more included. There's more inclusivity when it comes to, the group.
Yes, but again, as I said, that in the policy itself, as we are engaging with Home Affairs, we have a few things to correct. For instance, it is not the LGBTI.
Okay.
Because when you're talking LGB, you are talking issues of sexual orientation and you are talking about attraction. And this is not about that. This is just about gender identity, gender expression, and sexual characteristics, where we're talking about intersex persons. So yes, it is a long way coming. And but we appreciate the spirit at which Home Affairs is operating, because it's all about upholding the Constitution of the Republic. It's also about upholding the international human rights for trans, intersex, and non-binary people.
Right. So this will not be, outside of public opinion and public inputs. Rather, you're further urging people to register, and make their submissions before the deadline comes.
Yes, the deadline is the 28th of February, and people who are in favor of the inclusion or the protection of privacy, dignity, and life of trans and non-binary and intersex people, we urge them to send their opinions to Home Affairs. Yeah, so it's for the public, but also Home Affairs has created dialogues that we can engage with them, and as experts in the field, that we can shape the policy to do what it's aiming to do, because we can see that the aim is very positive, but there's a few things that need tweaking and really get it right.
All right, where do you think the tweaking needs to be done, Sibusiso?
For instance, I mentioned the language. The language that is used there can be extremely problematic and sometimes go to a point of antagonizing. But the second thing that we need to correct is the content, right? For instance, Home Affairs is saying the third sex category will be reserved for the... No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We want any other person who choose not to specify their gender should be allowed to do that. Because if you reserve it for this particular group, you are defeating the purpose, because then anybody who picks up the ID will know that you are part of that group, and if they choose to discriminate or be violent against you, that is problematic, because now you are othering. So you are... this defeats the purpose. So what we want actually is for any other South African citizen to be able to access the third sex category. And we also, if you read the policy, is also talking of randomized ID numbers, because you'll understand that in your ID number, the first 6 are your date of birth, the first 6 numbers. The 7th digit, if it starts from 0 to 4, it means you are female.
Right.
If it starts from 5 to 9, you are male. Right?
Okay.
So we want ID numbers, and this is Home Affairs initiative, that in order to increase the security, ID numbers need to be randomized.
Right.
So it's going to be just a number that is just your unique number, that, you know, people who for instance, who can guess who know your age or your birth date, and they know you're female, you know, they're getting closer to committing fraud, or to, you know, guessing and doing all kinds of things in order to steal your identity.
All right, so we have to leave it there. But your point is taken. We have to leave it there, unfortunately, due to time. Thank you so much, Sibusiso Kheswa, for joining us.